Scanning Hardaway 7T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could do your boy a favor. Smash that like button for your boy. We here for this boxing conversation. Richard son Hitchens had some interesting things to say about one Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia and Javante Tank Davis. They got a fight coming up March 22nd or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. April 22nd. April 22nd, you know what I mean? Next month, the thing right around the corner. What's good? True Allah. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. True Allah, my brother D, Tay D, my brother True Allah. Was good. Appreciate y'all folks sliding through. We here to have us a quick boxing conversation about what Richard Hitchens, you know what I mean, had to say about Ryan Garcia. And I thought this was interesting to me, right? Because although, we do understand that Javante Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is a big fight, right? It's a big fight as far as the namesakes go. The names, I personally don't feel like that it's the most competitive fight, right? That we're going to get between two fighters. Now, some fights have to happen, right? I think this one of those fights that have to happen because of all the back and forth, that's been going on, all the talk between the two and whatnot. So I'm not upset that this fight is happening, but I think in the mix of all the hype and everything that's going on, and we get lost in the fact, right, that Ryan Garcia is simply just isn't on Tank's level, right? As this is a fight that we know would most definitely sell, right? This isn't going to be the most competitive fight, you know what I mean, for Javante Tank Davis. I've had guys, people, boxing pundits tell me for years on years on years on years, right, that Ryan Garcia is trash. Ryan Garcia can't fight. He basic and all that good stuff, right? Just for us to roll back around. I've had people tell me for years, how bad Ryan is, just for this fight to roll around. And then, people tell me that, it's the biggest fight in boxing. It's the biggest fight in boxing. No, it's not. It's not the biggest fight in boxing, you know what I mean? By a long shot. You know what I mean? By a long shot. And I really hate, for this thing to tank, like the pay-per-view or whatever, for this thing to tank, right? Because no pun intended, what's good, D Free? Because then him fighting Ryan Garcia, it can't be justified by either way, right? Not even it being a big fight. So I hope that this is one of those fights that has to happen, but I don't think it's going to be one of the most, competitive fights. I think this more so is a namesake thing, and I think that's what Richardson Hitchens was saying, when he said Ryan these are his words, right? He said Ryan Garcia isn't an elite fighter whatsoever. You know what I mean? And again, this is a fight. This is a fight. That I'm going to watch. This is a fight I feel like has to happen. What's good, MP? Said what's good, y'all? It's Friday. Turn up. Yes, sir, MP. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all folks side through. True said peace. What's great about this fight is that it puts pressure on them other top fighters to fight each other. Yeah, Tay D said Riri about to shock the world. True. Kind of when it comes to that, right? I feel like this is a fight. I ain't gonna say this is I feel like this is a fight that we didn't necessarily need, but what I mean, the people want it. I don't think this puts the guys at the top, the pressure on them to fight each other, because I don't consider Ryan Garcia a top fighter. Ryan Garcia is a top name. You know what I mean? Devin Haney was trying to fight Ryan Garcia, you know what I mean, years back, right? Tank is trying to fight him now. People want to fight Ryan Garcia not because of the competition level, right? But because of his name. They want what comes with, You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia. I wouldn't consider Ryan Garcia, just like Richard Hitchens, right, was saying, I wouldn't consider him an elite level talent. You know what I mean? I wouldn't consider him an elite level talent. Type there, an elite level name, right? Elite level, maybe elite level fan base, because I notice how people say, Devin Haney never did a pay-per-view, so he don't sell, but Ryan Garcia sell for whatever reason, right? But I digress. Alpha Yashirala, what's good, Alpha? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Alpha. We about to get into exactly what Richardson Hitchens had to say, right? Richardson Hitchens ain't really feeling, Ryan Garcia, the Ryan Garcia hype train. He ain't really feeling the moves. You know what I mean? Richard Hitchens had mentioned a while back, you know what I mean, how he felt like Floyd Mayweather, only focus on Tank, and how he, kind of used them to help get Tank ready, right? By having them spar Tank, having Tank have the best of sparring, right? And promising guys title shots and opportunities, but ended up, not following through on Richard Hitchens's title shot and whatnot. So Richard Hitchens did state right before he signed the Golden Boy how he feel a little slated. You know what I mean about that? So this isn't the first time, right, that Richard Hitchens kind of took a dig. You know what I mean, at TMT or a TMT fighter. But Richard Hitchens and Tank Davis, they do get along. They are friends. They do train together. You know what I mean? So interesting. Richardson Hitchens, had to say this about. I'm gonna get into the arc. I'm gonna read it off to y'all. Yo, it's 10 people in the building. I got 10 people in the building right now. I need all 10 of y'all to hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let YouTube know that we live. Let YouTube know that we talking Instagram boxing. I ain't gonna hold you up too long. Let me go and get through this article, then we can go on with the get on, right? Ryan Garcia has done his best to shed that pretty boy label he's often been tabbed with, but while he's pointed to both his amateur record consisting of 215 wins and just 15 losses, along with his undefeated legger in the pros through 23 fights, Garcia believes that he just hasn't gotten the respect that he deserved. In the effort to garner worldwide ribbons, the 24-year-old fought and trash talked his way into a showdown against one of the boxing premier stars and violent KO artist, Gervonta Davis. The two will look to settle the differences April 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. For the better part of 5 years, including two incendiary pressers, Garcia told all that will listen that he'll eventually leave David motionless on that mat. Richard Hitchens, however, isn't believing a single word. In addition to giving the contender virtually no chance at pulling off the upset, Hitchens is convinced that if it wasn't for Garcia's star power, that it's Garcia's star power, not his skill, that scored him the date of one of the biggest fights of the year. This is Richard Hitchens speaking, word of mouth. Richard Hitchens said Davis is not an elite fighter whatsoever, just talented with speed and power, and he's popular. That's it. Davis, 28, is appreciative of those boxing circles supporting him. When last seen, the Baltimore native punished Hector Garcia, stopping him in the 9th round, January 7th showdown, stripping him of his undefeated record. Eager to prove that he isn't simply bloviating, Hitchens reveals that anyone opposes his prediction, he'll quickly make an ATM run and wager any amount on Davis to get the job done versus Ryan Garcia. He said, dude is going to get punished, and he's going to bed April 22nd, and I'm willing to bet whatever. So that's what Richard Hitchens, had to say about Ryan Garcia. He said he's not elite level at all, and he think it's more so star power. They got him that big fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. But I ain't going to keep y'all in this thing too long. Skin the Hardaway 17. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But just the present. That's how we rocking, and I'm out. Yeah.